Alright guys, we're continuing EZA Strength Trunks' touring against BROLY, which I'm actually looking forward to doing this video just because BROLY is a little bit more on the longer side when it comes to difficult content in Dokkan. So, you know, hopefully we should be able to get Strength Trunks' defense fully done. By the time we get to AGL BROLY, we should have him fully brought up defensively, and we can really see what his capabilities are, especially because by that point, he's going to have type disadvantage. So we're going to need all the defense we can get, along with that 50% damage reduction. Still not facing a Realm of Gods category enemy, of course, so we don't have that built-in additional. So that means early on, he may be a little bit weak, but of course, because BROLY is more on the longer side of things, we don't necessarily need the additional. It would be nice, especially for some extra damage, but we don't really need it just because we have time to build up his defense and don't really need the extra 40% for the turn. The only part, again, where it would be useful, but we don't really need it, is the extra 10% damage reduction we'll get for performing 6 attacks. Again, the additional would help us get it like by turn, with his third appearance, essentially, by the end of his third appearance. It would be nice to get it that early, but it's not needed. Like, we don't have to rely on it. So there is that. Do you know what? I'm actually going to start, just because BROLY, as I said, starts off fairly slow. I actually don't have enough. Once if I do this? No, they don't link. What am I doing? It's really annoying. I kind of want to see how much he tanks in slot 1 with just damage reduction, but we're not going to. Do you know what? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. Hopefully the potential system kicks in and we can hit an additional. But just damage reduction, not a lot of defense. Only 15k. And again, that's pre-super. Okay, this is going to do some damage. Me fucking around and finding out is going to get us hurt. Still, 257k, considering we have, what, 700k HP? Isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. We do miss out on a stack, though. So me just being curious and wanting to see how much he tanks with just sheer damage reduction alone does mean we've missed out on a stack and lost a bit of health. But still, 16k on a basic isn't bad. So that means if we'd got one super in, those additionals after he supered, or not additionals, those basics from BROLY after he supered, probably would have done nothing or almost nothing. Yeah, that's actually not bad. It's just we miss out on a stack, which that is a shame. But yeah, no, that's actually, I can't lie. Even though we did miss out on a stack, that's actually a pretty solid start from the boy. I won't lie. That's a pretty solid start, and I can't knock it. It's just a shame that we're gonna miss out on a stack. So hopefully we can still get his defense fully done in 6 turns by the time we get to AGL BROLY. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have any extra defense here, but there's only 2 attacks in slot 2. And we do have a little bit more defense just because we have taken some damage. So again, that kind of works in our favor. But I can't imagine, or at least basics from the basic attacks, or from the normals, can't imagine even off of 1 BROLY's going to be doing any damage, if any, to Trunk right now. I mean, at least technically we did perform 2 attacks last turn because they don't have to be supers, so we are 2 attacks down out of the 6 to get his extra 10% damage reduction, and now we're 3 attacks down. Potential system? No. Yeah, double digits immediately. That's great. That's literally off of 1 super. We've only just started building his defense up, so I'm not gonna lie, I'll take that. So far, that's actually a really good start. Like a really good start. And again, we kind of put him in a pretty bad situation aside from type disadvantage. But we'll get there eventually, but it's a good start. Again, we're not facing a Realm of Gods enemy. We don't have a guaranteed additional. Attacks aren't effective against all types. We can't get a damage reduction ASAP. We're not getting extra 40% defense for the turn while we're stacking, and even once we're fully built up, we still don't get the extra 40%. We're still not doing extra damage either. We do have the domain already, though. Of course, we're going to leave this guy on rotation for the time being because we want that Tech Trunks to stack. Although with the friend feature Gohan being about and the domain being active, I'm not too sure he's even going to get a look in. But while building the team, I did think, why not bring him, just because this is ideal for him. I remember using him in his own run, and we got Trunks like a million defense by the time we got to the final phase where he has type advantage, and he just popped off. I don't think Trunks is going to get to stack. No, he's not. He's literally not. He's not getting the chance to stack whatsoever. Okay, who's on slot 3 with us this rotation? Because Vegeta and Trunks and EZA Trunks is... Oh, perfect. Yes. It's the boy VB. It is the boy VB. Domain's active as well. We have recouped pretty much a lot of our HP we lost. 230k Trunks is up to now. And yeah, we're gonna see how he does. No item. No item. 230k defense, 40% damage reduction. An additional would be nice for a bit of extra defense this turn, but I still think we're fine without it. I think I'd more so want it just so we're even close to getting his extra 10% damage reduction. Because by the way we're going, how much damage we're doing, and also not supering hit on his first appearance, we're not going to have his defense fully built up by the time we get to Broly's final phase. Which is a shame, so I'd rather get the damage reduction. Additional from the potential system. Big crit though. No. Still double digits. Still double digits, which is great. BB's going to get to super before an AoE as well. I mean, are we even going to get super attack this time? Are we going to get super attack with a Broly AoE? There's 2 super attacks from VB. Can we get the hat trick? Can we get the third? The third? The third? Yes! Love this guy. I really do wish I had some dupes in him, but we don't. We don't. No super attack from Broly. Okay. I still think he'd be fine. Off of a super attack and 40% damage reduction, I'm pretty sure he'd still be okay. You know what? I'm actually just going to pop the actives because I'm actually just not going to use them at any other point. That does also still mean that Trunks isn't going to stack, but Trunks could get AoE'd before he supered because there was a ton of attacks in slot 1. So I'd rather just completely avoid that altogether. Right, the only annoying thing with having this guy in slot 3 is he's not going to link with him. So there is that. There is that. So what I'm actually going to pop this, but we're not going to put him in slot 1. We're gonna leave him in slot 3. At least this way we actually get to link now. He's up to 292k defense. Again, Trunks is barely stacked at this point. He's barely stacked. But just shy of 300k defense and 40% damage reduction while having type disadvantage. He is going to get to raise his defense before Broly attacks him. So we are going to get a bit of extra padding. But we do have type disadvantage right now. So where is he tanking? I would like to see a basic, a normal attack before he gets supered. Do you know what? That's not bad. 8 to 12k really isn't that bad. Because one thing you need to remember is, which is sometimes I kind of forget myself because he's that good, is he's still a side EZA. Broly's still got a bit of damage behind him. He may be getting on in terms of how old he is and not being as difficult anymore. But this EZA strength Trunks is still a side EZA, taking only 8 and 12k from a Broly basic while having type disadvantage and only supering what, 3, maybe 4 times. It wasn't double digits, but with 788k HP or just over that, 8 and 12k are not going to do... It is not going to be an issue. 8 to 12k damage really is not an issue in the slightest. Like, that is nothing in the grand scheme of things of our HP. So, do you know what? Fair play. Alright, we're actually dead here, but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, that one turn alone I think was enough. Because the more defense that he's going to get, the better he's going to tank. So we probably would have got down to double digits. A Broly Super though, a Broly Super 1.4, even if he was fully built up, you're looking at like, what, 3 to 400k in terms of defense with 50% damage reduction. A Super would still catch him. A Super would still do damage, especially with type disadvantage. I think he may probably die from a Broly Super or just take a ton of damage. And then 40% extra defense for the turn with like almost 400k defense and 50% damage reduction. Maybe he survives. I think you still take a lot of damage naturally because of the type disadvantage. But maybe he survives, but you do take a lot. But with a Whis, he would be fine. Because all in all, that is 90% damage reduction, even before you factor in where his defense is. So, I'm not going to lie, even against, again, one of his kind of worst situations, which is a lot of damage and type disadvantage, and no additional. Again, for the no item runners, maybe not as good. But for me, who like I use items, that's still a pretty good showing. That is still a pretty good showing. The only thing he completely loses against Broly once you get to the end is doing any damage. Unless he crits if you have dupes. Or even the 5 crit from 55%. So I'll take that. I'll take that. For a side EZA, this guy is so good. Just like the Inzamasu. But you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. And peace.